Hey guys, how are you doing? So I just wanted to talk about something really cool that happens when you start when you're putting in the work on yourself and you start to get results from this self-work. So before that, how are you guys doing? Anyone else feel that way? That I know myself and I know others, which makes sense. We are one unified consciousness. So I was not at all surprised to hear several people tell me that they were feeling pretty much everything I was feeling, even their loved ones and neighbors, like just everyone just going through it. This was a really, really heavy one. For me, it was pretty much like a dark night of the soul space that I was basically in. And I did my best to remind myself the truth behind it all. Did my best to do my self-work through it. Definitely resisted a lot, but still pushed through and still tried. Finally feeling like I'm sort of on the other side of it. With that being said, though, I also haven't really slept in 3 days. I got, I think, a couple hours of sleep finally this afternoon. Other than that, I haven't really slept. And I can feel it's like my body is like, I'm not actually tired. I'm wide awake. I'm functioning normally. I know the illusion need for sleep is melting away. It's just when you're in a space of going through it and you just want to be unconscious and sleep and not have to deal with anything, that can get frustrating. But again, I also know that sleep for distraction's sake is just resistance and distraction, and there's reasonings why. I know, and I'm working on all of it. So yeah, it's this was a big one, and again, just that reminder that stuff like that is a surfacing of things in order to face them so we can work on it. And the more we step into truth, when we go through these waves, the waves can feel worse than what they've been, only because we're getting to our deepest rooted stuff, and it's going to feel like shit as it comes out because we need to feel it as we're allowing it to surface, and then we can fully face it and fully embrace it and then do the work on it to melt it away. So yeah, so with that being said, what was interesting with this wave is I am noticing more and more, and again, I know it's contradictory, but it is interesting because on one end, as much as my body can feel so sore and achy and like it can feel awkward to walk, your muscles feel like they're new, and it can feel, my foot just got tickled, and it can feel awkward and almost in the illusion of painful. At the exact same time, my body feels so light and so soft and so relaxed, and I consistently have this feeling of calm neutrality within myself. Now, the really cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and I feel like I've maybe mentioned this before in other videos, but this time there was another added element to it that I haven't experienced thus far. And the fact that I've experienced now once, I know that this is just the beginning, and it's going to end up being all the time. So as myself, and I know others talk about, the external is the internal projected outward. Things externally do not actually affect us. It's actually meaningless and has zero power until oneself chooses to give it meaning and power. It's not the other way around. We've been thinking this whole time the external is something separate from us and it can affect how we think, how we feel, how we react. That's not true. It's actually reverse. And I resist that. Trust me, I have my moments still where I resist that quite strongly, but I work on it and I'm getting better. So what's important with everything is, you know, a lot of people still talk about how you need to do certain things with your body in order to be able to ascend and be spiritual and bring all this stuff online and allow what's real to take over. And again, that's not actually true. Not saying that stuff's not helpful. And if you're getting that natural prompt to take physical action, absolutely do it. it's just the whole aspect of remembering the truth is, again, everything external is meaningless and powerless and doesn't actually affect you. It has the power and the meaning that you choose to give it by the beliefs and whatnot that you're clinging to and projecting onto your made up external. So what's really important, what spirit really is, what spirit's really pushing with every medium when they're giving out messages. And some mediums have started realizing this, other mediums haven't. And again, really zooming out, it's my own illusion perception that other mediums and other people aren't getting it. So what a big message that spirit gives out is what's really important is doing the mental cleanup on your thoughts and feelings and beliefs on things. And the more you do this self-work, the external does change to reflect that. Even more so though, because the external at the end of the day doesn't matter. And the more you do that inner work, it doesn't matter because you become more and more at peace with inside yourself. And what's really cool about that, and I didn't realize that this was a thing until I started experiencing it. If other people have talked about, I'm not saying other people haven't talked about it. I'm just saying I never heard anyone talk about this. And so I didn't know this was a thing until I started experiencing it myself. So what I've experienced several times, and I'll get into what I experienced for the first time the other night or the other day, whatever it was, night or day. Time is like, oh my gosh, time's just warping and melting on me. But, so what I have felt several times now, especially in the past like year or two, is when I'm feeling, there's moments when I'm feeling sad and like I want to cry and I'm in a breakdown, but it's just immediately being sucked out of me. Immediately. And you can feel, you want to label it as source is sucking this feeling out of me. It's literally like a vacuum is pulling it out of your being. And when it's now, I know this isn't the strongest because when it's like the strongest, I just that hit my nose. When it's the strongest is like you're not feeling any sadness, nothing in illusion, no sadness, no pain, no anger, no hurt, nothing. And I do recognize that. I'm just not in that. Technically, I'm in that space right now. I know that, but I'm playing pretend still like I'm not. So one of the strongest moments with feeling this while I'm still playing with the illusion of being able to feel sadness and whatnot is it's like the moment you feel sad, immediately sucked out, and then you start to feel sad right away again, but immediately you feel sad, it's sucked out, feel sad, sucked out. You can't even get the words I feel sad out. Like you can't even get like the word I like formed in your brain, and it's like the feelings immediately sucked out of you. There's no space for it to be in your being. It can't even fully form within you, and it's being immediately sucked out. And then this is where it's very obvious that, you know, we do choose to not feel good, because when that's happening with me, there are times where, not every time, but there are moments where I'm like, I want to fucking feel bad. I want to feel upset. I want to feel angry. I want to feel sad, and I fucking can't because it's being sucked out of me. And then I realize, okay, yes, this is, sorry, hang on a second. So then that's when I realize, okay, yes, I do clearly choose to be miserable because it's being sucked out of me right now, and I'm trying to fight it. Like, I'm trying to hold on to the misery. What am I doing? I don't actually like feeling this way, because I don't. I'm like, I'm so tired of feeling this way. But then I choose to feel this way. It's ridiculous. And I know I need to not judge. This is what we all signed up for, to play with this illusion game of duality, and until we stop playing with that illusion game. And I get that. I'm just like, ugh. So that's really cool. It is really cool. And again, as I've talked about this before, okay, to preface what I'm about to say, I'm not saying in any way you shouldn't be taking this. And if that's what you're being called to do, that's awesome. If that's for you, great. For me personally, I prefer this over antidepressants, because with antidepressants, it just like builds like this ceiling right up in here in me, and I've got all this like emotion inside myself that I need to release and cry and let out, and I literally can't, and it hurts because it needs to be released. Whereas in this case, I've done so much crying and so much raging. And so it gets to a point where it's like, okay, now you've done enough releasing, and now it's time to like actually like let it go. And I've done enough releasing and enough surrendering and enough of the work, facing it, feeling it, figuring out where these thoughts and like where these feelings are coming from, what thoughts and what those deep rooted illusion beliefs are that are doing that. And so then it gets to a point where I've agreed to let source just suck it right out of me. And it does. And as much as I can be like, oh my God, I want to feel the sadness, I can tell it's my ego wanting it. It's because I've done enough releasing, and it's ready to just be gone, just melted away, no longer exist. And it feels good. It doesn't hurt because you're not being restricted in being able to feel. It's at a point where you have felt it enough, and you've done enough releasing, you've done enough work, and you've surrendered it, and so it's being taken away for you, which you're one with, so technically it's you taking it away for yourself. We're just playing like we don't remember that we're source doing it. So what's really cool, what I felt this week was I can feel the laughter. I can feel the laughter from spirit, especially because I know, because there's that piece of me that's going, oh, fuck. Yep, here we go. This is happening, even though it's such a good thing. But like, and I can feel the joke and the laughter behind me, like just how silly it is with the fact that I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. But then I'm like, fuck, this is happening. But it's so stupid. I know I'm judging myself for that. But what's really cool with this week, with what happened with this, is for the first time, I actually felt my resistance being sucked out of me, which was really cool. I have felt my sadness. I have felt mostly sadness. Like there'd be level of like anxiety, maybe some anger mixed in with that. But like usually just like sadness and anxiety is what I have felt several times being sucked out of me. I have not felt resistance being sucked out of me. And so that was really cool. It was like I was in a space where I wanted to be resistant, and it was just being pulled out of me, just like with the sadness. And I wanted to hold on to it, but I couldn't. And again, a very good opportunity to recognize that I do choose to be resistant, that I don't have to be that way. It's an illusion tool I'm playing with. Resistance isn't real. I'm playing with that illusion tool, and I am doing the work on myself to surrender it. And it's getting to a point now where it just happens without my even trying. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it has taken about 4 years of self-work to get to this point, especially the past year or two. I've really buckled down on, I mean, this is why one of the big reasons why I don't make videos right now is because I'm not getting the natural pull to. I don't really have a desire to. And as a side note, part of that is due to, again, I'm prefacing before I say this, I recognize it's all roles being played. I do see what my reflections are, and I know what the lessons are. Still trying to figure out what some of the other lessons are, that I know there's more lessons in it for myself. So with that being said, this side note, you know, part of the reason why I have no desire to make videos right now is because of what I've gone through with the spiritual community, you know, a certain well-known group threatening me. And I just, it's because of that, I'm playing with the illusion of all my spark and my joy has been sucked out of me, which it hasn't. It's still there. I'm playing with the illusion that it's not, because that's the one thing, that's what we actually are always, is love, joy, peace, happiness, bliss. I recognize that. I'm just playing with the illusion of this was just like, my light was completely just blown out on me with this. And it can be really frustrating, because if this group would just embrace what I'm able to do and who I'm working with, and just let go of their copyright issues and the fact that they're so concerned about money, it would be really beautiful and really cool. Like the stuff that I'm bringing online and how it's just getting stronger, like I'm being held on to so strong around my arms right now, like around my entire, I've just got energy wrapping around me so hard right now. And it's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And again, I'm trying to just surrender it and do this work. And that's why, so circling back, this is one of the main reasons why I'm not doing a lot of videos and stuff lately, is yes, I'm clinging to my fears and my insecurities about all of this, from, like I said, you know, this group threatening to sue me, to, you know, judgment from, you know, social media and the spiritual community and whoever. But again, I also know that's my shit, and it's stuff I'm working on, which is a big reason why I'm not doing a lot of videos, is to do this self-work. I'm doing a lot of work on myself, focusing in on just me. And it's needed. I know I need to be doing this. And that's what's feeling right for me right now. My job is to work on myself. I still do readings if people reach out. I've got actually a few clients I need to do some, I've got a couple sessions I need to do for, excuse me, but for the most part right now, it really is working in on myself. And I can see when I'm in a good head and heart space, I can see why that's so beneficial. And then I do, again, I share this stuff for myself, like the biggest thing, and I recognize I need to keep anchoring on to, I do this for me, because this is about me. This is my movie I'm making up, my dream, my simulation. I get that. So first and foremost, I do recognize like this stuff is for me, reminders for myself, all of that. But then I also do it in hopes that maybe someone, at least one person watching this stuff, finds it helpful. They know that they're not alone, that this stuff that they're experiencing is a normal part of the ascension process, you know, all that stuff. So, my stomach's being tickled. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's honestly like, and again, reminder for myself too, even when I'm going through it, like, keep fucking trying, because on the other side of these waves, what's actually here is getting stronger, and it's really cool, and it's really beautiful, and it is nothing but love. Trying to have faith and trust. See, I can even feel the resistance. I want to immediately go, well, what if it's not? I'm like, no, I know the truth of everything is that it's love, and we're here to, yes, embrace where we're at in every now and be in a place of childlike wonder and awe. At the same time, we are here to surpass our illusions of limitation and ego and duality. Merge the best of the illusion of the physical, come into unity in thy will, you know, learning to let go of how it's going to look, but knowing that what's actually here is love and full equal abundance for all. And again, just remember, no one gets left behind or forgotten. This whole notion that some people are going to get left behind, that's not true. No one can, that can't even happen, because we can never actually be separated. We're literally connected. Always. We're one, and one unified consciousness, and that can't ever be broken. So if you're afraid of getting left behind, that's not true. And when you hear and see people talk about it, just remember, it's just a gift of a mirror reflecting for you those fears. I'm getting tickled. Thank you. So there's physical confirmation of that. They're just gifting you that moment of mirroring for you your fears, which is your own false evidence appearing real, your own ego illusion shadows that you're projecting out in order to face it and work on it so you can melt it away, because it's not actually true. Fuck. Sorry, I'm getting tickled. So there's lots of confirmation on that. And again, also this whole thing with the spiritual war of good versus evil, and there's these other dimensional entities and all this, none of that stuff, evil galactics, no, none of that stuff is real or true. The spiritual war is the one within yourself. It's you know, where we're gripping and clinging onto our own ego illusion shadow, our own made up false evidence appearing real programming that we made up, we designed, we agreed to, versus acknowledging, allowing, accepting, and doing that, to like working on to do that, to allow, accept, acknowledge truth, source, love, allow what's real to take over, Christ-like consciousness, unity, thy will, full equal abundance. Which is why, again, there's this whole thing about, yes, am I a part of the 144,000? Yes. Is there a thing within this deep rabbit hole of illusion that we've got a ship floating in the ether and there's 144,000 of us? Yes, I have very solid memory of being in our pod bed. I've got this IV hooked up to my arm, translucent serum, enters through the IV. My team they know that I've given them permission to inject me with the serum, and I can feel it. It takes seconds to course through my body. The moment I can feel it hit my tongue, because it coursed through my body, and the last place I feel it is like my tongue, and the moment it hits my tongue, my eyes close there and they open here, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking passed out on the ship floating in the ether, and this is just like a fucking dream. And even then, the ship in the ether is part of illusion as well. Like, we're home always, like home, source, home always. And everyone in this is a projection from the 144,000, and the 144,000 is a projection just from source pretending, and it's all source, and that's just it. It's all source pretending to play these roles for itself, and it's just one giant joke. So this whole thing is not that. So our true shared power comes online when we let go of things like I'm 144,000 and that makes me a chosen one over others. Everyone is a chosen one. Everyone is equally helpful. Everything is equally helpful because everything is a lesson. And we will not come into, we're technically in our full shared power always, because we're just pretending that we're not. But within the pretend game we're playing, we will never come into our full power as long as we're still clinging to these illusions of I'm special over an other, or I'm a chosen one, or I've got this team and my ancestors got my back. And it's no, that it's all one and the same. This archangel does the same thing as that archangel. This archangel is the same as this angel. This angel is the same as this human. This human is the same as this galactic. It's all the same. It's all source. And unless it's loving, it's not real. So the spiritual war is not this evil versus good. It's literally the one within yourself of clinging onto your own made up shit versus accepting and allowing what's actually real to take over and doing the work to do that. So, and again, I get it. That stuff can be really hard to accept. I even resist it. I've been in a really strong place of resistance this past week. Very strong. And there's a couple people that I have talked to that have worked with me through this wave. And they know, they've heard exactly where I've been at. Trust me, this girl here threw some really big temper tantrums towards spirit this week. So it's, I know where I'm at. I still have shit to do. But I just wanted to give you guys that update, give some reminders that I'm getting prompted to give, and just let you guys know, like, a couple more things. Like, well, like I said, I know I talked about the sadness, but just now the fact that the resistance is being sucked out of me, I just really wanted to share that with you guys because it is really cool and I'm very thankful for it. And it's just to, if anyone's who comes across this is struggling to, you know, keep doing this and is in a space of what's the point because I'm not seeing any results, the work I'm putting in, just keep doing it. It just takes layers. You might not see results instantly. You will eventually start seeing more and more instant results until it is always instant and it's easy. Until then, it can take layers, but you do get there. And when you do start seeing results, it's worth it. And again, these are reminders I need for myself. I need these really strongly for myself. I gotta try and suck it up as best I can next time in a wave and come back and watch this video. Tally, suck it up and do the work because it's worth it. Stop being a bitch and falling into your ego. Do the work. Stop resisting. Trust, surrender. Message for myself. All right. Thanks, you guys. I love you all. Eric, Archangel Uriel. Yeah, he just grabbed at my toe. He loves you guys. He's with everyone always. And Robin Williams, Archangel Raphael. Again, they're all one and the same as well. There's no difference. They're one with you as well. No difference with you. He's yeah, sorry, I was just trying to, like, so he's just, I've got my arm here, and he's like gripping on, it's subtle right now, but it's slowly getting stronger. I can really feel it around my hand and slowly up my arm. So he's gripping onto my hand. I know today is his birthday. I didn't even click into that until a friend messaged me photos that she had, like, playfully edited around of him last night, and that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my god, no wonder why, because I've been like in a mode where I've just been been watching the birdcage over and over and over. It finishes, I restart, or if I happen to stop it because I'm trying to fall asleep, when I turn it back on, I just restart it from the beginning. And then was it yesterday, the day before, I got a really strong urge to watch Jack, and I actually watched it, and then all of a sudden, like, my friend sent me, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's Robin's birthday. Okay. He's also been really strong, like, physically as well, like holding on to me and just physically being present this past week or so. So that all, I wasn't even clicking into that. So that's, again, for me, it's more point proof of this stuff's real, because I wasn't even didn't even click in that his birthday was coming up. So, he's I'm just seeing him smiling, and he's just saying he loves you, and I'm seeing him like blow a kiss, and he's just giving the reminder that he's here. I just saw him holding a birthday cake with candles, and he's holding the birthday cake with candles out to you guys, and he's offering for all of you to make the wishes. So it's not a birthday cake for him and for him to make wishes for his birthday. He's holding out the birthday cake with lit candles for you guys to make wishes and blow on the candles. And I'm getting that feeling of like unlimited, you know, and then just, so it's that whole feeling of like, it's a metaphor of him like just saying like, you know, give him your wishes, surrender the stuff to him, like talk with him, he's here with you. And it's then also that reminder of like, surrender it though, like give it to him and surrender it, and let go of expectations on how it's going to look, and just trust that however it's meant to work out is going to work out the way it's meant to. And there is that whole feeling too of like, oftentimes what we receive is even bigger and better than what we were expecting. But even if we don't receive what we're asking for, it's for a good reason. And something else will come that's meant to happen. And we will see eventually why it worked out the way it did. So, yeah, he's definitely, he's offering up the birthday cake with the lit candles. And I'm seeing him as Genie, playing Never Had a Friend Like Me. But that's also a friend of mine. She's got a family member in Aladdin the musical. It's either this weekend or next weekend, which that was also another synchronicity. Didn't even click in that was happening right around the time for his birthday as well. So that's been kind of in my head a little bit, but I know that's all also for a reason too. So yeah, it's just that feeling of he's here with you guys. Talk with him. He's there. He loves you. He's with you. So, all right. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know your thoughts if you guys find this helpful, or don't say anything. That's okay too. But yeah, just I do hope that someone, at least one person, does find this helpful. And yeah, all right, thanks you guys for watching, listening, and for sticking around even when I'm MIA, and when I'm in my breakdowns and my waves and resistance. And I appreciate you all very much. So thank you for everything. I love you. And as always, have a wonderful now.